Let's say this is 2010 and you're about to get your first motorcycle. What a lovely time to be alive.
पावरफुल तो है पर स्प्लेंडर
125cc क्वांटम कोर
नालायक स्प्लेंडर का भरोसा कहाँ मिलेगा
मिलेगा डैड क्योंकि ये है नई सुपर स्प्लेंडर.
And there are strong chances that your first motorcycle would end up looking like this, or this. But now the time has changed and we comparatively know more about motorcycles than before. So there are chances that your first motorcycle now would end up looking like this, or even if you're lucky, then even like this. There's a guy in my neighborhood who used to go tuition with his GT650, not to mention how jealous I am with him. But the point I'm trying to make here is that this commuter segment of motorcycle has now become a territory for uncles. But what if I tell you, you don't need to be an uncle or father to have fun with these commuter motorcycles. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Rev Your Heart. My name is Prashant and this is a story of this tiny little Honda Shine 100. Speaking of engine, well, it's a Honda. So reliability and refinement is like a religion here. And even if you want to push it 0 to 60 effortlessly, even 80, 90, even 100. But if you're going to go more further, then just make sure you have an updated insurance. But what surprised me about this engine is that this engine likes to be revved. It doesn't complain like the rest of the segment does. So you get the MotoGP inspired Delta box made up of carbon fiber frame for 200 miles per hour. Alright. It has a tubular frame which is simple, robust and completely suitable for a motorcycle like this. It provides you enough stability at the corners, but don't try to be Marc Marquez with it. Otherwise, just make sure to wear a helmet. Speaking of the brakes of this bike, you do get drum brakes at both sides and although they work pretty good, but the disc brakes and ABS are appreciated. But if you're a real man, you know the real braking power comes from here. I mean progressive braking. Okay, so suspension of this bike, you get the telescopic suspension at front and you get the rear shock absorber, twin rear shock absorber at back. Speaking of tuning, the front suspension is a little softer, but the back is, I will say, it's a little stiffer side. And advice for Honda that they can literally enhance the overall comfort of this bike by providing a little softer seat. This seat is, I'm not a big fan of this seat. This is really hard. Now let's talk about how this thing feels to ride. So before that, I would like to tell you how I use it. I use it in my daily commute from my home to college. I use it to visit my lovely friends. I use it to hang out somewhere. And I even use this thing in Rapido and Uber to extract the economy numbers, as I can't afford to burn a liter of fuel for just a YouTube video. So the first thing you're going to notice while sitting in this bike that this is super lightweighted. And comparing to my Phaser, this feels super athletic and in conditions like city traffic and congested area, this thing feels like a blessing. So now let's talk about the legendary mileage of this thing. So I was getting around 55 to 65 as my riding style is a little mixed. But that's not what I want to share with you guys because my perspective for its legendary mileage is little different. So see, basically I'm a college student and most of the time I'm broke. And whenever I have to go somewhere, I have to think twice to take my Phaser out of garage. But that's not the case with this thing because it gives you a freedom that she can take you anywhere, however you want. I remember I filled her 2 liters of fuel and just for 2 weeks straight, she was taking me wherever I asked her. And if you ask me, this freedom is a big thing. Now let's talk about the conclusion. So basically the one thing I realized after using this bike for almost a month, that these things are super versatile. And considering that India is a single bike garage, this thing can really do a lot. If you want to go off-road with it, it will go. If you want to commute, she will commute. Even if you want to go racetrack, she will do racetrack as well. But the point is, even if you own something like GT650 or RC390, I will still recommend you to have one of these and use your beast for Sunday rides. This will even gonna make your Sunday rides feel even more exciting and not to mention the feel you're gonna save with it. So this was my story with this shining star. And if you like this video, hit the like button. You can consider subscribing to my YouTube channel for more such automotive content. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.